Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome back to Coordination Complexes class. We were discussing valency bond theory with an example. In order to explain the structure, magnetic properties of a complex using valency bond theory, we need to know the electronic configuration of the metal ion. Electronic configuration of the metal ion in ground state, that means it's free ion. If there is some additional factors which forces these electrons to pair, then we call it as under excited state. So in the ground state, if the electronic configuration of the metal ion in the ground state and in the complex are both are same, then we call it as high spin complex or spin free complex, because here there are four unpaired electrons. We did not change the spin of these. That means we did not make them any one of these unpaired electrons to pair. So the number of unpaired electrons in ground state and in the complex both are same. So it is called high spin complex. Based on the hybridization, we can predict the shape. Due to sp3d2 hybridization, it is octahedral geometry, and it is using 4d orbitals for hybridization, so it is called outer orbital complex. If it uses 3d orbitals, then we call it as inner orbital complex. Now, if some electrons or some ligands if some ligands force these unpaired electrons to pair up, then the complex formation is explained as follows. The previous case is ligands did not force these electrons to pair up. But in some cases, ligands will force any unpaired electrons to pair up. In that case, what we say, CO3 plus electronic configuration in excited state. Excited state. CO3 plus electronic configuration in excited state. 3D, 4s, 4p, 4d orbitals. Now, in 3D, we have 6 electrons. As I said here, if the ligands force these electrons to pair up, so this electron will come here and will get paired. This electron will come here and will get paired. So instead of 4 single electrons, we will have 3 pair of electrons, and these 2 orbitals are empty. Now, according to coordination number, this complex requires 6 empty orbitals. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So it uses 2 orbitals in 3D, 1 orbital in 4s, 3 orbitals in 4p. So it undergoes D2 sp3 hybridization. It is not using 4d orbital for hybridization, it is using 3d orbital for hybridization. So that is why hybridization also changes, D2 sp3. In the previous case, it is sp3 D2 hybridization. Here we must write D2 sp3 hybridization. Then CO3 plus electronic configuration in the complex is of course they form hybrid orbitals, but yeah, you don't need to mention 4D. These are 3D. We have three lone pair of electrons. Then we have six S D2 sp3 hybrid orbitals, and six ligands will donate six lone pair of electrons. To just differentiate the electrons of metal ion and the electrons from ligand, I am using a different symbol. For metal ion, I am using half arrow, whereas for ligand electrons, I am using X. Now it is D2 sp3 hybridization. Though it is D2 sp3 hybridization, the shape is octahedral. Shape is octahedral. sp3 D2 hybridization and D2 sp3 hybridization, shape is octahedral. Here we are using inner d orbital, 3d orbital for hybridization. So it is called as inner orbital complex. Inner orbital complex. Inner orbital complex. In the above case, we have four single electrons. That is why it is a paramagnetic material. But here we do not have any unpaired electron, not even a single electron. All the electrons are paired in this complex. So it is a diamagnetic material, diamagnetic in nature, or diamagnetic complex. Diamagnetic complex. We need to add one more point, magnetic moment. Magnetic moment, which is denoted by mu. Here it is 0 dB. This we will discuss little later. Magnetic moment, if all the electrons are paired, then the magnetic moment is 0. Because it is having a zero magnetic moment, it is called diamagnetic. If it is non-zero diamagnetic moment, then it will be paramagnetic. Please take this table: coordination number, hybridization, and geometry or shape. So this information is very much useful to explain the structure of a complex using valency bond theory. When coordination number is 2, one s orbital and one p orbital will undergo hybridization to give sp hybridization. When we have sp hybridization, the shape of the molecule is linear. The shape of the molecule is linear. To make it useful for competitive exams, I will also explain this orbital will be px orbital or pz orbital. If the bonding is through x direction, the p orbital involved is px orbital. Or generally we take z orbital is the bonding orbital. So you can go for it, either px or pz orbital. If the coordination number is 3, then it will undergo sp2 hybridization. When we have sp2 hybridization, shape is trigonal planar. Trigonal planar. Trigonal planar. That means we will have a metal, then three ligands. So this is the trigonal planar shape. The normal straight lines are used for to represent the bond. This dotted line is used to represent the shape. So it is just drawn outside to represent the shape. So trigonal planar, here bond angle is 120 degrees. Linear means this is the shape and we will have a bond angle of 180 degrees. Here also, when the molecule undergoes sp2 hybridization, mostly the 4s orbital, 4px orbital, 4py orbital will involve in hybridization. If it is a 3D block metal ion, if it is a 3D metal ion, they are 4s, 4px, 4py. If it is a 4D metal ion, it is 5s, 5px, 5py. If coordination number is 4, we have two possibilities. We may have sp3 hybridization, that means all 3 p orbitals. sp3 hybridization shape is tetrahedral. Other possibility is dsp2 hybridization. dsp2 hybridization. When we have dsp2 hybridization, shape is square planar. When it undergoes dsp2 hybridization, generally it is inner d orbital, x square y square orbital, then ns orbital, then npx, npy orbitals. X square and y square orbital is distributed along the x-axis and y-axis. So we also use npx orbital and npy orbital. So these are the 4 orbitals here. Now look at the shapes. What is tetrahedral? There is a metal, 2 ligands, then one ligand above the plane, one ligand below the plane. This is the tetrahedral geometry. What is square planar geometry? Another point is bond angle 109 degrees, 28 minutes or 109.5 degrees. What is square planar geometry? This is square planar geometry. Metal and 4 ligands, all of them are in the plane. It represents like a square. The bond angle is 90 degrees. Bond angle is 90 degrees. I'll give some examples for square planar complexes and tetrahedral complexes. You practice explaining the structures using valency bond theory. At least practice for 1 or 2 examples. Here, in this case also, ammonia acts as a strong ligand. So it forces the electrons to pair up. Any doubts, please? For tetrahedral, I'll write separately. For tetrahedral geometry, if you have space here, you write them here, but don't disturb the table. All the examples must be written in the margin, okay? Don't disturb the table. Tetrahedral geometry, otherwise I'll write it here. For tetrahedral geometry, we have tetracarbonyl nickel, tetramine zinc, and tetrachlorozincate 2 and tetraamine copper 2. These are the examples for tetrahedral geometry. Now continue this table. If the coordination number is 5, we have two possibilities here also. One is DsP3 hybridization, other one is sp3 dehybridization. sp3 dehybridization means square planar geometry. DsP3 means trigonal bipyramid. Trigonal bipyramid. Square pyramid, sorry, this is not planar, square pyramid. Square pyramid, we have all bond angles as 90 degrees, whereas in trigonal bipyramid, in the plane we have 120 degrees bond angle, and out of plane we will have 90 degrees bond angle. I'll draw the structures little later. Here also, DsP3 hybridization, it uses dz square orbital, then all 4s orbitals, 4p orbitals. For sp3 dehybridization, it uses all s orbitals, all p orbitals, and it uses dx square y square orbital. That is the difference. Here it is using dz square orbital, here it is using dx square y square orbital. If the coordination number is 6, there are two possibilities, sp3d2, d2sp3. Of course, shape is same, octahedral geometry only, but one is called outer orbital complex, another one is called inner orbital complex. sp3d2 outer orbital complex, D2sp3 inner orbital complex. I'll give some examples for these also, but you are supposed to practice their structures using VBT. For outer orbital complexes, Fe, F6, 3 minus, CO, H2O, 6 times, 2 plus, Ni, NH3, 6 times, 2 plus. For inner orbital complexes, Cr, NH3, 6 times, 3 plus. Manganese, Cn, 6 times, 3 minus. Fe, Cn, 6 times, 3 minus. CO, NO2, 6 times, 3 minus. For inner orbital complexes, we need to have very strong ligand that we will explain in crystal field splitting theory. Mostly cyanide ion, nitrate ion, and carbon monoxide, they will force single electrons to pair up. This is the only exception. Ammonia is not a strong ligand, but in case of chromium, it forces electrons to pair up. Yeah, sorry, this is not exception. This is chromium will have empty d orbitals. Chromium will have empty d orbitals. It is not an exception. Leave it. If the coordination number is 7, then we will have sp3 d3 hybridization. Here there is only one possibility. It is pentagonal bipyramidal. Pentagonal bipyramidal shape. We will look at all these structures. What is trigonal bipyramid? We know trigonal planar, right? This is trigonal planar geometry. What is trigonal pyramid? If we have one ligand above the plane, one ligand below the plane. This is what is called a trigonal bipyramid. What is square pyramid? This is square, and if one ligand is above the plane, then we call it as square pyramid. Here the bond angle is inside in the plane 120 degrees, out of the plane 90 degrees. Here all bond angles are 90 degrees only. All bond angles are 90 degrees. What is octahedral? If we place one more ligand below the plane, then it is called octahedral. If we place one more ligand below the plane, one above the plane, another one below the plane, then it is called octahedral geometry. This is square pyramid. In octahedral geometry, all the bond angles are 90 degrees only. All the bond angles are 90 degrees only. What is pentagonal bipyramid? In the plane, we will have 5 ligands. In the plane, we will have 5 ligands. So this is pentagon. One ligand above the plane, one ligand below the plane. This is pentagonal bipyramid. Pentagonal bipyramid. Here in the plane 360 by 5, it is 72 degrees. Out of the plane it is 90 degrees. Out of the plane it is always 90 degrees. Now we will look at the magnetic properties. How to explain the magnetic moment of the material. Generally magnetic moment is denoted by mu. How to calculate the magnetic moment? The spin only magnetic moment is given by, this is purely spin only magnetic moment, mu is equal to square root of n into n plus 2 Bohr magnetons. Here n is nothing but number of unpaired electrons. Number of unpaired electrons. For example, if n is equal to 1, then mu is equal to 1.73 Bohr magnetons. You can remember this. If n is equal to 0, then mu is 0. If n is equal to 1, mu is 1.73 Bohr magnetons. If n is equal to 2, mu is equal to 2.83 Bohr magnetons. If n is equal to 3, mu is equal to 3.87 Bohr magnetons. If n is equal to 4, mu is equal to 4.90 Bohr magnetons. If n is equal to 5, maximum unpaired electrons possible is 5 only, then mu is equal to 5.92 Bohr magnetons. Because in a d orbital we have 5 suborbitals, so there is only a possibility of 5 unpaired electrons. Now based on the number of unpaired electrons, we can easily calculate the magnetic moment using this formula. Mu is equal to square root of n into n plus 2 Bohr magnetons. You don't need to calculate it every time. You just remember this: 1.73, 2.83, 3.87, 4.90, 5.92.